I mean, if you talk about Mike Tyson's career, you can't talk about it unless you talk about the role that Bobby Stewart played in it.
Welcome, Bobby. Thank you for joining us, sir.
Thank you.
Oh, great. And we've got some audio here. And yeah, welcome to Albany. And you and Mike Tyson are as synonymous as any two could be in boxing.
I'm lucky.
So am I.
Why don't you talk a little bit about your relationship? I know you all were honored in the ring, in the cage here just a few moments ago. A great reception. Your relationship with Mike Tyson goes back to the very, very beginning, the earliest of days, right?
I started working with him, and I luckily knew Customato, and I brought him down to Customato after I do the best I could with him. Brought him down to Customato, and the very first time he saw him, he looked at him and said, "That's a heavyweight champion of the world."
It was like a man-child. How old were you at the time, Mike?
I was 13, but then I turned 14. But listen, he said he summoned me.
Yeah.
That's what custody. I summoned you. I was thinking about you, and he summoned you.
So when you say that you brought him to Cuss, was it because you thought that Cuss was the best fit for him and that Mike wasn't, or tell me about that?
I took him to my trainer first, Matt Baranski, and he looked at him and said, "Nobody believes me. They thought he's 18, 19 years old." I said, "He's not, whatever." So then I brought him to Cuss, and Cuss said the first time he saw him, he said, "He looks so good, he be the heavyweight champion if he continued on the route he's on."
Amazing.
So I worked with him for a while, and eventually went down to Cuss.
So, and how is it after all these years later, you all still have a kinship? Is the bond so strong? Is it because the career is so remarkable that the bond is so strong, or is this deeper than that?
I think it's deeper than that. It's more from a humanitarian perspective than from sports. It's just two people from two different sides of the perspective at that particular time. Just clicked. It just clicked. I was prepared to click. I was ready to do anything that was asked of me to be successful, and I did everything he told me to do.
Well, it says a lot about your character, because you have deep-rooted friendships with people for decades.
Yes. All my friends that are my friends, I've known since I was 12 or 13. My true friends, yeah.
And Bobby, what does Mike Tyson mean to you?
Well, the biggest success story I ever saw. I mean, just a kid that it was down and out for a while, and just worked and worked and worked and worked. It's the people, I tell kids now, if they work 1/3 as hard as him, they make it at whatever they try. It doesn't have to be boxing, it can be dancing. I don't care, whatever he wants. Got to work to get it, and he was willing to do it. No, it's phenomenal. Just things that do 10 push-ups, he did 100. Do 20 sit-ups, did 200. Everything was just phenomenal. Just followed everything he was supposed to do. Did well in school. Did everything.
Mike, you know, when Customato and when Bobby Stewart said that they saw you as a teenager, 13, 14, 15, they thought you had what it took, size-wise and skill-wise. Did you even know what heavyweight champion was at age 13 or 14?
I had an idea, but not to the degree that they had influenced me. Cuss made me believe heavyweight champion in the world was the best. If you weren't heavyweight champion in the world, you weren't nothing. And so I never had a father that was in my life, but if I could articulate it, I felt that this was my father and I wanted to make him happy. Like every kid, to make their family happy. I wanted to make my father happy.
Yes, sir.
So it wasn't the title. You're too young to understand that. It's just there's a man in my life that I need.
Yes. I need to do what he wants me to do to make him happy. My job, I know, my whole objective was to make him happy. And by making him happy, I had to beat people half to death.
Yeah.
That was the kind of guy he was.
Love it.
Very brutal man.
Love it.
I appreciate your candor. I appreciate your conversation. Appreciate you very much. Thank you.
Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. He's representing the Henzo Gracie Academy out of New York City, New York, David Rice. And his opponent across the cage, fighting out of the red corner. representing Grit and Gratitude Wrestling Academy out of Springfield,
Gratitude.
Massachusetts,
I like that.
Daniel, the Surprise Keepers.
Will, how do we handicap this one? This is for...
Well, you know, here's the thing. Daniel Keepers is coming in off a big win in Cage Wars 52 against a very tough Austin Shoot. Nobody really expected him to win as dominating as he did. But he's facing David Rice out of Henzo Gracie Academy, New York City, who is number 4 in the Northeast. So on paper, David Rice should have the advantage. But don't count Daniel Keeper and his team out.
I always said when they have the statistics, he's 6 foot. The statistic scale can't measure determination, will, desire. It can't do that.
Yes. Daniel surprised everybody with his last victory over Cage Wars veteran Austin Shoup, which is what earned him this shot with David Rice today. David Rice looking for that shot way too far out from that southpaw stance. Both men southpaw currently, which is something we don't see often.
You don't see that matchup a lot. It can be a little awkward for both fighters that way.
Daniel Keeper's doing a nice job keeping distance, not allowing him to get in on those legs.
It's the jab that keeps him out there.
Yes, sir. Jab with that footwork.
It doesn't have to be hard, but it keeps the guy at bay. It keeps him from wanting to get in.
And Rice looks like he has a nice quick one. And it's different angles too, champ. It's not just the chin. It's not just the face, right?
It's always good to jab to the body. It's inevitable. You have to do it.
And as we can see, David Rice wants this fight on the ground. Keepers, I think, is more comfortable on his feet than Rice is at this point.
That's an impressive takedown against a guy as credentialed.
But again, you know, when you come out of Henzo Gracie Academy, New York City, and you're backed by that school to fight, Jamie Crowder, Master Henzo, all those folks down there, I mean, you're coming with a major skill set. Rice in half guard, keeping the shoulder pressure on Keepers, looking to pass that left knee, or the right knee. And let's just briefly talk about those beautiful gloves they're wearing, those RDX Sports gloves. How many other amateur promotions are partnered with a company like RDX Sports, and these young athletes get to take these gloves home with them?
Well, they have. Listen, these athletes have every opportunity.
Mike Tyson, Dan Mergliotta, RDX. I mean, this is the place to be and fight if you're an amateur athlete right now.
I don't understand why.
Oh, he's got the choke in.
Oh, he's going to sleep. No,
He's got the head and arm.
There's some sleeping stuff going
yeah,
on.
Oh, there it is.
Yep, and he's tapped. There it is. That's a huge victory there.
I saw that was some sleeping stuff going on.
That was, and you knew that David Rice knew where his bread was buttered tonight, and it was on the ground. Excellent technical victory there.
I agree.
It's a nice win.
Very calm, very collected. We'll see if we'll get this replay here. Here we go. He steps over, putting that right shoulder pressure, creating that choke with the gable grip. Hips in the air, walking the feet out, and there's the tap.
Very methodical. Very just precision.
Brilliant fighting.
Yeah,
yes.
Business-like he went about his work.
You know,
a good win.
Mixed martial arts is really a violent game of chess. You can't be a hothead or like a dummy in there. You have to fight intelligently.
Totally.
Is it hard to? When does it become difficult to remember and do that, champ? Is it when exhaustion kicks in? Could it be something your opponent is doing to take you out of that rhythm?
Listen, it's all about it's not the opponent to concentrate on. It's your skill, your art. Be very objective.
Referee Laszlo Huve has called a stop to the fight at 2 minutes and 7 seconds into round number 1. For your winner and new USMTA Welterweight Champion, David Rice.
I'll talk to you. I'm busy. I'll talk to you.
Champ, you're so approachable. You got all these bodyguards and people around you. People just come right up and they hand you their phones.
She was showing a picture that she took with me.
I love it. I love it.
You know, but at the same time, it's good. But we have also seen some times when it's not so good. I mean, how do you find that balance with people?
It's all energy.
All energy.
I work off people's energy.
What about the guy in the airplane?
Well, that was a ridiculous guy. I never hit him. My bodyguard was on top of him, so I never really.
You didn't do it. It looked like something, but
No,
you were pulling.
I was hitting my bodyguard. He's in pain.
Well, you know, here's my problem with that, Mike. They're all over folks for masks, right? They're on people, but they're going to let somebody harass you for how long?
A long time.
Was he,
You know what I mean? Come on.
I've known you for all of 2.5 hours. You seem like you're a very, reasonable, patient guy. This guy must have been really really pressing your buttons.
It was just not a good engagement then.
No, I mean you don't bother anybody, and you seem like you let a lot of things slide.
Even if you don't bother anybody, that doesn't stop them from bothering you.
Boy, no kidding. Well, you did the right thing.
I'm just glad that it's over.
Yes, we're glad too, because you know what?
Ladies and gentlemen, here with your
positive
new
things are always better.
USMTA
Totally
170-pound champion, David Rice. Nice, beautiful display of jiu-jitsu there.
Yeah, thank you. Practiced our arm triangle a lot in practice, and yeah, actually had a few pointers on finishing it better, like in practice the last few weeks. So that really helped here, sinking the shoulder down even more.
So what do you plan on doing to defend that title?
Hey, I'm game for whoever's up next.
He has the
So
physique.
what's this win mean for you?
He has the physique of a professional athlete, doesn't he?
Hey, it's great. I mean, this is my ninth fight already. Yeah, just want to keep getting experience and make that pro jump, like either next fight or soon.
Good job, man.